Teams from Minneapolis are having trouble getting to Fargo and Grand Forks because of some rough weather there. This is a live look right now at Hector International in North Fargo. We're finally starting to see some lights come on in that plane. Otherwise, it's just been sitting there all morning long.
Our latest check shows the first two flights from Fargo to Minneapolis still delayed. We've seen it there all morning. And the first flight out of Grand Forks flat out got canceled. More than 200 flights were canceled or delayed just yesterday, and there's more happening this morning. It does look like, though, flights to and from Denver and Chicago are running as usual. So
yeah.
Keep track of that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's because of some rough winter weather around the region. And for a check of the Red River Valley, we go on over to meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, that storm that hit the cities just skirted south of us. We have had some impacts from it, though. We've had a little light snow. That cold air rushing in behind it has been impacting us and continues to do so this morning. And as we take a look at the radar, not much to show. That doesn't mean we don't have any snow. It's just not being detected very well from the Mayville radar site. And you can see evidence of that over in the Twin Cities area up toward Duluth. There's more snow in the region, but you can see the radars in both of those locations only showing the snow closer to the radar site. So there are more places in Minnesota experiencing that snow, and just about everybody in the valley experiencing the wind. You can see our camera shaking here in Fargo. As we're looking off to the east, you can see the clouds in the east, whereas we have some clearing skies overhead in the FM area for the moment. 9 degrees right now. That's as warm as we are. So it is going to be a cold step out the door here this morning, especially when you factor in the wind. It feels more like 10 below currently in Fargo. And a look at the wind, northwesterly, so colder air moving in, 18 miles per hour, but gusts are getting into the 20s, even some 30s. So a windy one this morning. You'll be holding on to that steering wheel in those open areas where we get those gusts closer to 40 miles per hour here this morning. And the kids will want that extra layer. And to cover up, too, with wind chills getting in that sub-zero range. They'll want that full winter weather gear, the hat, the gloves, the scarf, everything here. And they'll probably want it this afternoon, too, getting off the bus. We really don't warm up today. We get to see some sunshine, and the wind eases for a time, but that's about it. Here's the good news. Not so great news is that the wind comes back tomorrow, but it's a south wind. It's going to bring our temperatures back up to near freezing. And then our first alert weather day for Friday, some wind, some snow with that could lead to some tough travel, especially Friday evening. Once that clears, a chilly Saturday for the holiday lights parade in the FM area. Make sure you're dressing appropriately for that too. Sunday does look like the warmer day of the two this weekend.
Okay, time to layer up. Thank you so much for that update on what our weather is looking like outdoors this morning, Lisa. I think if we can, we're going to jump right on over to Jordan at the touchscreen for a look at those current road conditions.
Yeah, we definitely want to check those out this morning. Lisa Green has been talking about some snow flurries happening this morning around Mahnomen. We're seeing some partially covered roads on the White Earth Reservation. Be careful there. Rest of the state all in green. North Dakota, completely normal travel conditions today. But getting down to that winter storm that happened near the Twin Cities, you see, you can just kind of cut the state along the southeastern portion right there, and we're seeing some issues. We're going to zoom on in. So if you have plans to head to the cities today, you need to be careful. I-94 is the most popular route from around here, and as soon as you hit about Monticello, it looks like we're talking about a little bit of trouble there. They have been clearing it. Before, it was more west of Monticello, was still rough, but that is now green, so they've been working it out this morning as crews have been out there. However, if you're heading even like to the Mall of America, say today in Bloomington, partially covered to fully covered roads around that area. 7 crashes right now in Bloomington, 3 just east of Monticello. It looks like 2 in St. Paul, so you need to be careful if you're heading down there. Ashlyn?
All right, thank you for that close-up look. The U.S. Border Patrol now investigating a possible hub for human smuggling in North Dakota and Minnesota. It's all near the Canadian border. Nearly 24 people have been involved in 2 cases earlier this month. Court records say 2 men from Georgia suspected of smuggling called police themselves around 3 a.m. on November 17th, saying their van was stuck in snow. It was near Nitchie in Pembina County. They say they walked nearly 40 minutes to meet the family they were transporting before having to call authorities due to that dangerous weather. Deputies found 9 people stranded, including 2 children. All 7 of the adults admitted to being in the country illegally. One man who's facing charges says smuggling groups pay between $500 and $1,000 per person. Now, earlier this month, 8 other people were apprehended near St. Vincent, Minnesota, a short distance from the Canadian border. Authorities are seeking charges on 1 man for smuggling, while 7 others are currently being deported. If you think you have any information about human trafficking, contact your local law enforcement or the National Human Trafficking Hotline, that number 1-888-373-7888. An update now on a death investigation in Wahpeton that we first told you about last week. Police now say 54-year-old Charles Cox died of blood loss following an assault. It happened at a home in the 400 block of 8th Street North. That's where they found him and a woman, both with serious injuries. Police are calling it a violent domestic incident. That woman currently being treated in Fargo. No details yet about her condition. A Red Lake, Minnesota man is going to prison for 12 years for the 2020 murder of his cousin. The U.S. Attorney's Office says in the fall of 2020, Ralph Cloud Jr. used a metal cabinet to beat Alan Smith to death. It was at Smith's home on the Red Lake Indian Reservation. Cloud suspected his wife was involved with that victim.
The North Dakota Supreme Court is considering arguments regarding the state's abortion ban. Justices heard those arguments yesterday. One of the justices asked if cases of rape and incest would have to be proven before an abortion could be legally performed.
The Red River Women's Clinic's attorney says the burden of proof would go then to the doctor, which presents a flaw in the trigger law. Earlier this year, a South Central District judge ruled abortion is still legal in the state, while a lawsuit is underway about that trigger law. The state attorney general, though, is challenging that ruling.
Big changes are on the way at NDSU in Fargo, which aims to transform the school's academic sector. University President David Cook says they're considering merging the 7 colleges down to 4 or 5.
He says all programs, even including athletics, are on the table for those potential cuts.
We're going to have to take a look at programs that are out there that maybe are, low enrollment, high cost. Taking a look at things that maybe don't make sense. Either they shut down or they merge or they come together with other programs.
The university says they're seeking input from students currently with plans to move forward, expected to begin in January.
The Prince and Princess of Wales are on their way to Boston this morning. On Friday, the royal couple will give out the annual Earthshot Prize, which was created in 2020 by William and David Attenborough.
Kensington Palace says the Prince and Princess will meet with the local organizations trying to mitigate rising sea levels. I think you had something to say about this.
Yeah, I was going to say that, talk about a real Boston Tea Party.
I loved it. Yes, all right, we had a chance to say it. That was for you, everybody.
Thanks.
And we're going to take a shot. We're taking a look at. It said shot on the rundown, I swear. Here is a look at a Louisiana family counting their blessings after their 2 young girls and their dog were found after a massive search. And that moment you saw there was when 7-year-old and 4-year-old Abigail and Cecilia Berg were reunited with their family. It was all after they went missing in the woods for nearly 5 hours on Monday night.
Yeah, multiple agencies scoured the woods. One of the canine officers eventually found the girls and the dog. They were thankfully reunited with the family after that. Happy ending to the story there.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Found safe. Wow. Wow. From the Boston Tea Party to found safe in the woods. We're pulling it together,
We're
everybody.
covering it all today.
Yeah, we hope you are as well.
Thanks for
Happy
joining us.
Wednesday. See you next.